I'm going to share a brief story with you. It's not bad. It's about my past. But those of you who have followed me for the past 21 years since I became an author know that I have a background in English literature. I have a degree. I also have a minor in history, which means I pretty much understand how human history or human nature works. Now, in literature, because it's English, which is England and Eurocentric dominant literature, you may think that there's a human nature, or let's just back up and just say you may think that the experiences of that culture is different from all the other cultures in this world, past, present, who knows the future. I would just say to you, besides the power obtained, the riches, the systems in place, it's not so much different than human nature, which has existed since the beginning of time. And we write about this. For example, family, friends, loved ones, the basic human needs we all have to take care of our family, our friends, to find friendship, that goes without saying. And that's also a driving part for stories to be written and told about these very same subjects. Now, in the case of where it crosses different cultures, different boundaries, we began to see that, I would say, little drips and drops before the 1960s. But in the 1960s, where I believe it all started, you began to see how authors of the dominant culture and other cultures began to see the world and how we can relate to each other. Right? To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I think it's a classic novel that's banned in mostly certain places. But Miss Lee wrote a story about the humanity. Atticus Finch saw the humanity in Tom, who was accused of this crime that was so hideous they wanted to put him on trial. He saw the humanity. I also think that the humanity was also shown in a more difficult manner, in a different manner, sorry about that, with Charles Schulz, when he introduced Franklin into the Peanut strip, right? You've seen the picture circulating around social media and internet. Linus, who was white and a very popular character within the Charlie Brown universe, is shaking hands with Franklin. Franklin is introducing himself to Linus, and Linus is introducing himself to Franklin, who is black. That means that two young boys can see the humanity in each other and really don't have the attitudes of prejudice behind them. Now, not to say that other young men and young women in Franklin's world or universe are not prejudiced, but with Linus and Franklin, and especially in a time like the 1960s, where more creators like Charles Schulz and going back to Miss Lee basically wanted to write those different stories about humanity between human beings, those of us who are black and those of us who are white. It's all about touching the humanity of each other. And once you can connect on that, pretty much you have a solid story, I believe. And this is, of course, not to say that stories written past the 1960s don't touch on that. They should, and they do. And there are quite a few people who have benefited from that. But if we don't write about the humanity, we don't write about the things that make us human, which is why the root word of humanity exists in the first place, then I think we would lose not only an audience, but a generation of readers who will learn something from our experiences living on this earth. We need to connect and touch the readers with saying, hey, just because I'm black, I am no different than you who may be white or Asian or Latino or Latina. I know Latinx, but trust me, people I know don't like that word. So I can just say that it touches humanity. Writing about it, it touches us all. And I can tell you, as someone who's experienced this with the reactions of people who I've come across, whenever I see someone who is not black buy my book or books and they remark how good it is, that to me is a compliment that I love so much, because it just proves that whatever I'm writing is just to help touch our basic humanity. Whatever concerns you is basically a concern for all of us. Family, friends, loved ones. When a loved one passes away, right? We all are born, we live, and we die. So when we have a sad occasion like death, everyone's affected. When someone is born, each day there's a new baby that's born. Guess what? That's a time to rejoice. Human nature, the humanity of it all for all of us, should be the number one thing. What do we do when we face a serious situation like a crime, such as To Kill a Mockingbird? Is Tom guilty because he's black? Or is Tom guilty because the prejudice factor, which strips of his humanity, is the reason why? We have to write stories that show us that if we committed a crime because our mindset believes you're no better than us because you're of a different color or race or whoever you are, has to be pointed out and it has to be addressed. Of course, Miss Lee, I'm sure, could care less if she was still with us today. She can care less that her book is being banned by people who really don't want to understand about the humanity that Tom possesses, went through, and has gone through. It took Atticus Finch to help realize that Tom is a human being who deserves justice, right? And that's basic. We all want justice. We all want peace in our lives. We all want it. It's a basic human need. Politics get in the way because it's politics, right? We all want to see new laws passed that would benefit the multitude, not just the select few. But politics always gets in the way. And politics is that man-made construct that interferes with everything humanly possible. It interferes with our humanity, our growth as human beings. Writing does that. When you take a chance like Charles Schulz and you create a character named Franklin, you do it because you understand, hey, if I can help for some way, if I can just write about this character, not in a demeaning way, but in a way that is dignified and fits in with all the rest of the characters, like Charlie Brown's iconic, Linus, Lucy, Snoopy, Woodstock, Schroeder, Peppermint Patty, and Marcy. And now you add Franklin into the mix. Just shows he's just as valuable as the rest of the Peanuts gang. And in turn, the late great Maury Turner, who Charles Schulz knew personally, could also come up with wee pals and create characters that would be shown in a cartoon called Kid Power. And the message that Mr. Turner had through Nipper and all the rest of the We Pals gang was that we're all on this earth together. So why don't we make a fresh start and have peace together? Rainbow power, right? That's what it meant back in 1972. So when I look at these creators, I'm thinking that, hey, they're onto something, and that's what connects a lot of people, and that's what get people reading our stories, our novels, our poems, everything. It helps connect because people see themselves in what we write about, basic humanity. And as a close, that is something that I will always strive to do personally. That's my personal mission, is to make sure that I write something that helps brings us together or helps us see that we need each other. Our basic humanity is what binds us together. Yes, we're different politically. We're different as human beings as far as culture, ethnicity, skin color, you name it. But we're all human beings. We all have the same functions together. We all have the same ability to love, to cherish our loved ones, to hold. We all live together and we all die together. And basically, isn't that what life is all about? To live in peace and harmony. We not be in heaven yet, but can't we make our lives as close to heavenly as possible? Isn't that what we're trying to strive for here on this earth? So I'll tell you what, all these challenges I see on the internet, let's go for the 2022 challenge. Let's go for the humanity challenge. Find one person that you may have a difference of, politically, spiritually, whatever, and try to connect with that person in 2022. We do that, you'll be a much happier person, and you could gain a new friend. But we'll see. We'll see. My name is Charles L. Chapman. As always, my website is charleslchapman.com. Please visit the website. Scroll down to the Amazon page. Click on that link and you'll be taken to the Amazon page where my latest book, Storm of South Central, is now available for you to buy, purchase, and enjoy. Or click on the books page. You may click the link and buy a copy of my old book, The Voices of South Central, and enjoy the poems that are in there. You know, I have friends and I've known people with different ethnic backgrounds. And I should have said it earlier, but you know me. And I'm very proud to have known these people all of my lives and all my life, one life. People went to high school with, people that I knew through my father, longtime friends. I still cherish the friendship. Even though we haven't kept in touch, I still cherish the friendship so much. And I learn from them. Because we're all born on this earth to live and to do well. And that should be the goal each and every one to try to strive for every single day. With that, I'll close. And I want to thank each and every one of you for listening, taking the time to do that. And make sure to keep yourself safe. Please keep yourself safe as best you can. Until the next time, be good to yourselves. Take care.